So I don't know if anyone's ever heard of something called Gatebox. It was a prototype from years ago where you had a holographic cylinder with Hatsune Miku, and it was basically an Amazon Alexa. It died. The license ran out. They couldn't renew it. They weren't getting enough customers, and it just shut down and lost connectivity. You had a $1,500 paperweight, which someone actually, the Hatsune Miku crazy guy actually married his. And then in some point it married his, and then it died. Well, we have a bit of a, oh no. Someone has recreated it. That number just went up while we were sitting here. The Code27 Character Livehouse. Customizable 3D AI Companion Hub. You can upload Vroids and other custom characters. So you can put whoever you want in, adjust the voice, and connect it to a large language model AI as its main brain. I have some... And it's Kickstarter because people didn't learn. I have some serious concerns about this, but there are some things about this that do make me go, So, it doesn't. I just thought that this is something that should be talked about and some of the issues that come with this kind of thing. So as you can see, you can upload and customize multimodal. It animates, dances music, and does things. Now, one of the big things that has me really concerned is when you back it, these have a no subscription fee to the cloud server running this. I have serious concerns about the longevity of anything that is doing that. I understand why they're doing that. And from the customer side of view, it can seem like a really good idea to get behind that because of not having to pay constant server fees to use the AI. The issue that I have is that from a company's ability to remain open, you've got a lot of people that have bought into this, clearly. And now you've got if all of those people are using your servers and never having to pay for them, and probably got this device at a discount relative to the final selling price, you're going to be in the hole and really have to hope even more people purchase this thing and pay the subscription fees. Can you train it on GUR videos and save? I'm going to get to that because there are many things to discuss about this thing. So, now they're talking about secure privacy protection. That is one of my biggest concerns with anything like this, especially when people decide to go really far into the companionship side, is the fact that you are probably pouring your deepest, darkest secrets into this thing, and these things are saving all that and sending that out to a remote server to generate the responses and personality. That is a hackable server where that stuff can be gotten at. That is a danger and an issue, and big AI server farms are a juicy target. So there are some serious concerns. This is out. This reads like a 60s sci-fi novel. It gets worse. You could see it's I have some serious concerns. However, the customizableness is, from a technology standpoint, a good application of VTubing technology, basically. And you can see, customize your character's persona, Now, where is... I might have missed where it was that I saw. Ba, 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 ba. You can uncensor it, which makes me also raise my eyes. Here we go. Connect to any cloud service or use any local model. That is where I suddenly went, okay, hold on. Someone might actually understand the technology they're using. The problem with so many of these new things, especially the AI things, is that they are just connecting to ChatGPT or something similar and expecting that to be there forever. You didn't follow, get out. They are they just expect that to be a permanent assumption that it will that will be permanently available. This is saying, and I have some looking into it to do. This is saying that you can use any local model, which means if they are using this correctly, thank you, up to, if they are discussing this correctly in the way that that means, when it comes to lots of bots tonight, when it comes to this privacy, security, and data control, it says data is only stored on the device, which some questions, but maybe. But here, this means that one, you can just run it to your own home-hosted AI. I use AI as an assistant, but the one that I use for all my personal stuff is self-hosted on my own computer. It never goes to an external server to do anything. The only time I ever use, typically Brave's Leo, is just when I need to fart around with searches and general stuff that I'm not too concerned about if anyone ever reads my emails, basically. But with this, it's a local model. You can tell it anything, you can have it remember anything, you can customize it on your end. And yeah, technically your computer can be hacked, but, unless it's not connected to the internet, but a single computer for a single person is not the same, it's not the same juicy target that a big unified server with 2,000, 3,000 people's data on it is. So from that perspective, it's like, okay, if they are implementing this the way it seems that they're saying they're implementing it, they are actually, to my honest shock, they're actually implementing it in a wise and smart way. What's more, if you can make it, if you connect to a local model instead of being forced to use their servers, this can actually survive past the end of the company as long as you can keep it in working order. Which is another thing that other companies just don't think of. They assume that they're going to be the next big thing that will last forever, and so all their stuff is 100% dependent on them. So when it goes down, it's down for good. But if you can run this completely locally, it actually has the ability to last. Like I said, the Gatebox, which is sort of the original iteration of this, I don't know if they're the same company or not. I don't think they are. The Gatebox died in like 2 years or something like that. 2 or 3 years, something like that, when the servers died. This, potentially, again, as long as you can keep it in working order and connected, potentially doesn't have a lifespan. So, if they are implementing this stuff the way that it seems like they are, I am prepared to say that they at least understand and are making smart decisions when it comes to the creation of this. Certainly far smarter than you would expect out of any of these kinds of AI tech startup companies. DeepSeek or Gwen. I'm not super familiar with Gwen. DeepSeek was really popular for home hosting. because of how good it was. Yeah, there, Llama. Llama is almost always a do-it-yourself hosted AI function. Like I said, I am still a bit nervous. However, I will admit on a personal level, because it's self-hosted, assuming that's correct, this may be the personal assistant that I've always wanted. I get really nervous about the whole AI romance thing. Might just be because I understand how AI works that I don't think I could ever get my head around it. The AI companion thing is also a little bit of, I'm not sure how I feel about this. However, as an AI assistant, something that I can actively talk to instead of just typing into, and that can react and interact, that is a bit more my speed. And if this has the kind of self-customization that it says it does, this could very well be the successor to Assistant.ai that I always wanted. During the early Assistants release, when it was just like Siri and Google as the two assistant options, and Alexa was still figuring out what it was doing, and not a phone available option, I had an app called Assistant.ai, which is one of the billion third-party versions that were made, but it was the one good one. And then Google bought it and deleted it. They didn't even use it for their own assistant, which was stupid. I admit that I have wanted an AI assistant based on that for a long time. And so I look at this and I go, it could be, it could be the cute AI assistant. Zai does not want their ooh la la. It could be a for me something that just sort of helped me keep my life in order assistant that I've desperately needed for quite some time. That's just where I stand on my personal interest, if you wish to call it that. Conversely, getting Neuro installed would... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh! Has Vettel seen this? Imagine hooking Neuro up to this. I'm tweeting this. I'm using the wrong mouse again. I'm gonna just quickly check to see if they have made any posts about this. I don't see any. I'm going to send this to Vettel right now. I know they don't know who I am. I am a tiny little nobody streamer. But I kind of want to see what they think of hooking Neuro up to this. Vettel may ban me for this. Yeah, now we're the ones who started Scarlet. There it's, hey Vettel, what would you think of hooking Neuro up to this? I'm just gonna double check something. Yeah, I believe that is the correct everything. I'm gonna remove the Hey, Vito, what would you think of her? What would you think of hooking Neuro up to this? Post. Give it like 5 minutes and I'm gonna be banned. um, so that's that. Like I said, it is a thing. It is very much a thing. Like I said, I have some AI programming background. I obviously play a lot around with AI in my own time. I have some strong interest in applications for this, though probably not the intended applications for this, or I guess the expected applications for this. Um, but yeah, I saw this, I thought a gatebox, and immediately got really, really concerned. But like I said, this while there are some things that definitely raise concerns, in particular that server subscription, there are some things that also, as I explained, definitely make me think, hold on, are they doing this right? If you're going to do this, are you doing this? I mean, it says right there, Internet of Things Hub. And that is in the category of things that I like and am interested in, is a self-hosted LLM hub type intelligence. I'm not into a lot of what's been going on with AI. If they're doing this the way I think they are, maybe. Now, I just realized that another thing that may be a red flag is that they were only setting a $5,000 goal. That also makes me sit here and go, why? Did you just like need to get across the finish line, or what's going on? Because that is really low. But obviously they have beat that by a fair margin. But yeah, so that is the Code27 Livehouse, which was the final thing I wanted to ramble about tonight. Which is, I don't know, I'm still deciding what I think of this. But it's tough to not say some of this stuff is very, very interest piquing in terms of the fact that I'm just rambling in stories now about the fact that they actually took the time to add things that I, as an AI programmer and tech guy, would want, but that you would expect most of these companies to completely ignore, if not intentionally avoid. Bet 5,000 was to make the prototype? Possibly. Possibly. Did we see when the anticipated delivery date was? Yeah, there's the fact. Place an order, enjoy VIP offers. Okay, choose color. Well, that's a Kickstarter thing. How to pledge and globally. Is it available globally? Will be shipped worldwide. Well, a lot of the AI things are available worldwide, and if you can self-host, that handles the last of that. What is the expected shipping time? We are in the final stages of development for Cyber Code27. We anticipate moving into initial production by July 2025, with mass production expected to begin in early August 2025. Holy crap, that's actually a really short timeline for a Kickstarter. Our goal is to start shipping the first batch of Cyber Code27 by late August 2025, once your package is dispatched. So maybe this actually is, they were right there and just needed that kick across the finish line. Or maybe they need to prove to a backer interest. 1 year warranty. A lot of this is just regular pledge stuff. Provide PC and web clients with model uploads. Currently 3 types of models. Community downloads, custom creations, and paid customization. Vroid Studio, Blender, Maya, and they have an upcoming creation platform. VRM, FBX, GLTF. Okay, so yeah, that's a what? DeviantArt, really? That is a wide range of options. A voice cloning tool. So yes, we can have. I don't know if I want to actually say it on the record on stream, but you asked about a specific VTuber earlier that wasn't Neuro. Yes, that is a possibility. Multilingual support: English, Chinese, German, French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, Japanese, Korean, with possible more. Portability. Chat remotely with their characters. That was the question that I had. Is it stuck in the can, or is there a remote option? That I like the remote option. Does not include a battery. Based on user feedback, we may develop accessories with built-in batteries. Multi-device interaction. Our hardware already supports interaction between multiple devices, and we will consider adding features like shared chat histories between devices. Okay, so multiple devices, but not a shared chat history. That's interesting. Memory, third party. Look, there it is. Local models are running on your PC. The local models are running on your PC. So you will have long-term memory retention. That is huge. And you can switch between characters and save it. That is enormous. I cannot stress that the local on PC and long-term memory are massive, important things. Not just for my my potential assistant use, but just in general for if you're looking at something like this. Updates, hardware, crowdfunding will be supported for a long time. Even new versions released. Performance considerations, including RAM and storage, into account of the design. That is also something you would not expect to see. You would expect most of these companies to just say, here is your black box, don't open it. That is interesting. Code27 online models, third party, local on your PC. I am as nervous as the actual concept makes me. I am thoroughly impressed by the fact that they are doing this. Some replaceable modules are planned in the initial design, allowing users to personalize the character's appearance. You may also host a do-it-yourself event where users can collaborate to design custom appearances for characters. Data security. This is a big one. Though, again, if it's talking to a local PC, we've already got a lot more than I would have expected. If you are using their server services, voice data transmission using transmission is encrypted using AES 256, prevent eavesdropping and tampering, encrypts and stores customer data. But it's that stores that's where I'm like, each communication between client and server undergoes a unique protocol verification. Information is not received if verification fails. Server protection. High security third-party servers, such as AWS, are utilized with dedicated enterprise-level server protection and maintenance. Currently equipped with enterprise-grade firewalls and intrusion detection. Regular vulnerability scans. So that's very generic, and unfortunately still means that an interested party can still hack the system. The OS system is security hardened with hardware isolation to prevent external modifications. The OS and software are tightly bound, and any malicious firmware flashed or software modifications will trigger an anomaly report to the server. Client supports automatic security updates. If the user's local model is used, the data will be completely stored in Kodi, and the interface data flow will not pass through Kodi servers. Okay, so you can do... This sounds like you can do completely offline if you want to. You won't receive your updates, obviously, but it means everything will be run local. You could do a non-internet version of this. Display technology, online search, supports online search function, and of course, if you're using a local, you can set up online as well. Very specific filter setting. You could choose to filter out, or you could set right. And if you're doing your own local model, you could do whatever you want. Okay. So that actually did answer a number of the questions, and I guess it's shipping way sooner than I thought it would be. I thought this would be another like year and a half, 2 years, 3 years. You finally, oh, here it is. There is now a better version already on the market. That was a legitimate concern, but if they're already shipping, that is a whole different thing. But yeah. Updates. We're checking to make sure you haven't bottled Princess Leia. Oh. So, that is a thing. I realize I've given them not a whole lot of advertising purely on the basis of being a very tiny VTuber, but this is something that I just saw, and like I said, as someone who was watching the Gatebox fiasco, I wanted to bring it up and talk about it. I hate that how curious it has me in terms of functionality, capability, and options. The wild thing would be if with that expandability you could hook it up to like these new humanoid robots that they're coming out with. That would also be just like a crazy thing to do. I will update you if you do not have the cash. They are Chobits. Oh no! Not Chobits! I haven't thought of that in forever. 528. Save $200 on the MSRP. Okay, so they're not actually planning on increasing the price a whole lot. Character Livehouse with a smart rotating base, include accessories in the box, 1-year warranty, no subscription, color choice. For just under $530. Super early bird offer, save $170. MSRP, which is just that without the base. So it is just under $100 for the base between these. Okay. Times 2, so that's just buying 2 of them. And times 5, buying 5 of the things. And those are the options. Basic one with the rotating base, 2 of them, and 5 of them. Oh yeah, there, it says $5.99 is the anticipated price for them. Okay. And it is $7.28 for one with a base. Which is significantly cheaper. That's like the price of one gate box originally. So there, I've sort of given them a shout out / advertisement / overview. Like I said, it is something that I am nervous about, but it is something I am very, very curious about. I find it highly unlikely that they will even notice I've talked about them. I find it even less likely that they will reach out to me, given my on-the-fenceness of discussing this. 5 of them, because someone needs a harem. Maybe. Also, though, they did mention spreading them out across the house, though the issue is that they will be 5 instances of a character instead of a character that moves about the house. They mentioned the possibility of that. I would not count on anything besides what they have explicitly said they're shipping.